Okay. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to DuePoint. How many guests do we have here? Who am I speaking to? One. Don't be shy. It's the only question I'm going to ask you this evening. Guys, welcome. Welcome to everyone who's tuned into the live stream around the country. Tomorrow is a public holiday, so I'm glad to see a few of you out here this evening because most of us are already, we start our public holiday at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, right? Today. Okay, my name's Rob van der Bijl. I'm one of the executives here, and I'm going to be taking you through who DuePoint is and what we do. So let's begin. DuePoint, we are a division of another company called Constantia Insurance Company Limited. That's their building in the background, their logo over there, little orange logo there. They're based down the road from us in Randburg, so just over the hill here. The FSP number that we operate under is that one over there. Constantia has been around since 1952. They're a very old registered insurance company in South Africa, a very reputable business. They're actually owned by another business called Conduit Capital, which is listed on the Joburg Stock Exchange. You'll see all our FSP licenses on display for you outside above the water cooler in the foyer. We've got a long and short-term insurance license. We've got an investment license. We've got our FSP license on display, as well as our accreditation with the DMA and the DSA, the Direct Marketing Association and the Direct Selling Association. Why so many licenses? Why so much accreditation? Because we're a credible business, right? That's very important. We want you guys to start building some form of trust with the business that you're potentially going to be looking at. It's a very fundamental step in creating any partnership. So you're welcome to go do a background check on us, go look at our licenses. We're obviously regulated by the FSB, which should say a lot for us because it's very onerous complying with FSB regulation. The individuals involved here at DuePoint, these are the executives and the senior managers at DuePoint. The three individuals on the left are all registered chartered accountants in South Africa. Brendan on the far left is the senior executive. He's got a lot of experience in financial services, particularly in insurance, because their family's been involved in insurance all his life. His father's a professor of insurance who taught at Wits for 25 years. His father founded Clientele Life along with the IFA. And then Stuart and Brendan, Stuart is Brendan's brother, they went on to found PMD, Prime Meridian Direct, which is down the road from us, and we see PMD's advertising on TV and all over the country constantly. A very successful short-term insurer. So they've been involved in insurance for a very long time. Tim is very experienced in corporate banking. He was working at the First Rand Group before he joined DuePoint. And he reported directly to the board of executives. They're a very cushy corporate job. So we're very glad to have him on board with all his experience. And then Stacey's got experience in auditing locally and abroad. She was with Deloitte, and she recently came back from Luxembourg in Europe to come back to South Africa. We convinced her to come join us here at DuePoint. And then the two non-accountants, Jane and I. Jane's got a lot of experience in direct marketing and direct selling, which is fundamental to the growth of our business, right? Because we engage in that form of marketing. And then myself, I've got a lot of experience in marketing and advertising. That's the industry I worked predominantly in most of my working career. I formed a digital agency when I was early 20s, so it was the late mid-90s when the internet started booming around the world. Remember that, right? Everyone still had those little modems that made a lot of noise on your desk. And that's when I got involved in the business. So primarily digital marketing that I've been involved in, and I started a digital agency at that time, ran that business for nearly 20 years before leaving the business, exiting, and then joining the team here at DuePoint. So these are the individuals that you're going to be dealing with. We don't hide in our offices. We very much get involved with the people involved at DuePoint because it's in our interest. Why is it in our interest? Because it's the only way we can be successful. Our wealth engineers, the people that participate in the DuePoint system, we want to see you guys as effective as possible in this endeavor because it's the only way us as a business can be successful. So we share this common interest with you, right? And that's a good thing to have in a partnership. If you don't have a common interest, if you can't collaborate with the person that you're in a partnership with, well, then you're not going to be working together. You're going to be working apart. Okay, so again, very important step. Our guests here this evening, I wonder what the premise of you being here is, what the person promised you this evening. Did they promise you only free tea and coffee? Maybe a beer upstairs. There's a pub upstairs here. Some nods there. I wouldn't mind a beer right now. I'm already in holiday mode for the weekend. But there's two aspects that we like to discuss around the premise. So the premise obviously was a financial opportunity, right? They said, are you interested in earning more money? Are you interested in an entrepreneurial or a business opportunity, an opportunity where you can make additional income? And you said, okay, that sounds interesting. Let me come look at it. And you ended up here on a Thursday evening before the public holiday. Why? Why would you come listen to me on a Thursday evening before the public holiday? Well, there might be some need around that or some want for the financial opportunity. We get a lot of statistics from the FSB that tells us typically what the economy looks like from a personal finance point of view, right? From a macro point of view. So the majority of South Africans, we get a snapshot of what that looks like, how people are saving, investing, how much debt they're in, how they're dealing with that debt, how they're maintaining the debt, what kind of debt instruments they engage in, all these kind of things. And it doesn't paint a pretty picture, let me tell you. It paints a pretty bleak picture. And there are two aspects to that. The one is debt, and the other one is the economy. Let's talk about the economy first. Anyone happy with the current state of our economy? No, I don't think anyone is, right? It doesn't matter who you vote for. I don't think any of us are happy with the economy. We would like to see it improve. And it has been abysmal because last year the economy grew at 0.3%, which is no growth whatsoever. No growth. We've got 50% of our workforce unemployed at the moment. 50% of people that want to work can't work. They don't even have jobs. And if we have an economy that isn't growing, we're not creating jobs, right? So we're not making any progress whatsoever in the economy. I saw on Facebook at the end of last year, all the people crying about how horrible 2016 was. Do you remember that on Facebook? Everyone crying about 2016 being so bad? I don't think 2017 is going to be much better, right? We don't see much economic growth happening in 2017, unfortunately. And this places stress on our lives on an individual basis because the economy plays out in our lives, right? When you've got companies that can't grow, some of which go backwards actually, they need to survive in the current economy, okay? And different industries are under different states of stress. You see mining, the car industry, the financial industry, health industry, all these different industries are all under the same, very similar types of stress in their businesses. And through trying to survive, they often have to restructure and often have to retrench. Okay, so I'm sure each one of you know someone, or even perhaps yourself, have experienced retrenchment. Okay, that is an effect of the economy that we live in. It's exacerbated by this four-letter word that we see on the screen, debt. Okay, so debt plays a fundamental role in our current situation, but more importantly in our future situation. Because when you're feeling stress from a financial point of view on a monthly basis, you end up living month to month. And you forget about the planning that you need to do in future. Okay? So unfortunately, we get afforded debt the moment we start earning a salary, right? The moment you start earning a salary, if you can show a financial institution that you're earning a salary and that you're employed, they'll offer you financial products because they think, okay, well, you've got a job and you're getting a salary. I can trust you to pay your debit orders. So I can offer you a cell phone contract. I can offer you credit cards. I can offer you a car loan. I can offer you a home loan, okay, based on what you're earning as a salary. And we engage in these debt instruments. We engage in more debt instruments than we do savings and investments, unfortunately, right? So some of the statistics that we get from the FSB says that the average South African spends half their salary repaying debt every month. So 50% of your salary goes to paying the credit card, the Edgar's account, the this, the that, whatever you've got to pay, those debit orders that go off every month. And you've got the 50% left over for the cost of living. Cost of living includes traveling, groceries, putting your kids through education, going on holidays, clothing, all these things, right? The other statistic we get says that South Africans only start saving properly towards their retirement when they're in their 50s. 50! You start saving properly for your retirement. So here's some financial data that shows you what retirement planning looks like. If you go sit with a financial advisor, this is what they're going to pretty much show you. They're going to say to you, okay, I'm here to help you plan your retirement, okay? They're going to ask you a couple of very simple questions. How old are you? They're going to say, how much do you earn? How much do you think you need to earn once you're retired, once you don't have a job? How much money do you need to get by every month? And then they say, okay, well, when do you think you're going to retire? Are you retiring at 58 or 60 or 65 or 70? And you give them that figure, and they do a very simple calculation. They just tell you how much money you need to save to have a certain amount of money saved and invested by the time you retire. And that investment will pay you out money every month, right? So here's some figures. You see the three figures at the top? 5,000, 25,000, 52,000. Pick which one you think you need to survive every month once you retire. Does anyone choose 5,000? No, we don't choose 5,000. 26,000 is more like it. Even 52,000 every month is very nice, right? But let's look at 5,000 Rand. To earn yourself 5,000 Rand every month, you need an investment of 1 million Rand by the time you retire. That means you have to have saved 1 million Rand just so that it can pay you out 5,000 Rand a month when you retire. Anyone doing that? Anyone under the age of 25? You can start engaging in responsible retirement planning now. Save 800 Rand every month for the next 40 years. Okay, so if you're 25, you can do that till the age of 65. And by the time you're 65, your investment will be worth 1 million Rand. That 1 million Rand will pay you out 5,000 Rand. Anyone saving towards 1 million Rand responsibly yet? Not many people, right? I won't ask anyone to hold up their hands. 26,000 Rand is a little more dignified, right? Who can live on 5,000 Rand a month? 26,000 Rand is a lot better. You have to have saved 5 million Rand in investment. That's cash, people. 5 million Rand. Save 4,000 Rand a month for 40 years. And this 4,000 Rand has to increase every year. It doesn't stay at 4,000 Rand. It has to increase by 7% every year, your contribution. It has to stay in line with inflation, right? People aren't doing this. Do you know how many people get to retirement financially independent? Guess how many South Africans get to retirement financially independent? 2%. So there's 20 people in the room. That means none of us. None of us, unfortunately, right, on average. It's a shocking figure. I don't propose this as a solution. Because if you say to me, well, is this working? For 2% of the people, it's working. But I think even those 2% that retire financially independent aren't people that started saving responsibly at 25 years age. The 2% are the CEOs, the execs, the people earning big money, business owners, right? So this really isn't the solution we propose. And besides, not many of us are under the age of 25. It's too late for some of us, right? We need to start making a plan that does not include responsible financial saving based on what salary we're getting. Because we're stretched every month already. We're trying to just survive the month. Don't come tell me I need to start putting 4,000 Rand away. I don't even have the 4,000 Rand. Where must I get the 4,000 Rand if I'm stretched every month? If food is going up every month, fuel is going up, does my employer give me a 10% raise every year? Inflation sitting at 7-8%, your employer should be giving you at least 7-8% every year just to keep your salary in line with the cost of living. If they're not doing that, you're falling behind. The salary that you're getting is devaluing every year. Okay? But in our economy, that's what companies have to do to survive. Right? They're not just being greedy, they're literally trying to survive. Okay? I'm not trying to scare you with this data. I'm trying to give you a reality check. Because if this is the first time you're looking at this and going, oh, I really need 1 million Rand to just pay myself 5,000 Rand a month, I better start making a plan because I'm not doing that currently, right? So let it serve as a reality check. This was published on the fin24.com website. This is not something I made up. Be aware of your financial future, okay? Don't leave it too late. So out of this crisis, out of this need, the DuePoint system was born. We as a business saw the opportunity too. We saw the opportunity to create a platform for South Africans to empower themselves from a financial aspect. Okay? So the DuePoint system was formed last year in February as a division of Constantia. And we've got 3 aspirations for our wealth engineers. Our first goal for you guys is to see our wealth engineers become debt-free. Debt-free. Your house is paid off. Your car is paid off. You pay the kids' education 1 year up front. You're putting money away every month into your investment. There's no debit orders going off your account, right? Can you imagine how liberating that must be when you don't have any debt? But you're probably going to have a line of families standing outside your house asking for money. That's the only downside to it. Okay. The second aspiration is to see you creating value in an investment, a true investment that doesn't have an underlying debt instrument. We want to see you putting money away towards something that grows every single month, something that you can look forward to in 5 years or 10 years or 20 years, or by the time you retire. And then the third aspiration is just to see our wealth engineers connect again with their dreams and aspirations. Because if you become truly financially free, when you've got no debt in your life, when all the money that's coming into your bank account, your salary, whatever additional income you're creating out of this business, when that's the only money coming in and you don't really have any money going out, I promise you, your mind will be blown. You will start thinking in a different way. You won't have the stress at the end of every month. You won't have stress at the end of the year. You'll be able to do what you want, help other people, get the house that you wanted, send the kids to the school that you wanted to send them. Not stress about food increasing, not worrying about the rand-dollar exchange rate, right? So that's what we want to see. We want to see our wealth engineers happier, generally, stress-free, okay? So how does the system work? Basically, you guys have the opportunity, our guests have the opportunity of joining DuePoint. You actually contract with us, and when you contract with us, we call you wealth engineers, and as wealth engineers, we only want you to do one thing, and that is to go out and build what we call channels of distribution, okay? I'll show you what channels of distribution look like. But into these channels of distribution, through our DuePoint system, our online platform, we will place products with those individuals that you introduce us to, and that's how this whole system works. That's it. It's basically how the system works. Okay? The benefit for you is that you get to create an additional income stream for yourself. The system is not designed to replace your day job or your salary. It is there to supplement it. It is the only way you can pay your debt off faster. You need your salary plus additional income to get you out of the trouble that you're in every month so that you can pay your debt off faster. Okay? Remember, it ties into our first aspiration for our wealth engineers, become debt-free. You get to create recurring income. Recurring income allows you to leverage time, because the effort that you put into building these channels of distribution in 1 month doesn't only pay you once off at the end of the month. It pays you in a recurring fashion. It pays you at the end of month 1, and the end of month 2, and month 3, and month 4. And ideally, you want to be in a position in this business in a few years' time where you are free to take 3 months holiday if you want. Can you imagine taking a 3-month holiday? I've never done that in 25 years of being employed. Never. Never had the opportunity, never had the freedom to even do that. But if you start leveraging your time by creating recurring income, you can possibly get to that point where you can take 3 months of holiday and you'll still get paid every single month while you're away. Not even thinking about business, right? Power of duplication. This is how CEOs make so much money, because they are leveraging relationships, the relationships they have with their employees. That's why they pay themselves the biggest bonus, the biggest salary, right? But they've got the same amount of time in the day as you and I. What they're doing is leveraging other people. You get to do the same thing in this business. These channels of distribution that you get to build are you building teams that you collaborate with. So if you only have an hour of free time to commit to this business daily, but you've got 10 people working with you doing the same thing, each putting in an hour, now suddenly you've got 11 hours being invested into your business every single day. Right? You double that. Now you've got 20 people working with you. Now suddenly you've got 21 hours being invested into your business every day. Can you see how you're able to leverage the channel of distribution that you build? Okay? Flexi time, you're completely accountable for your own time in this business. I'm not going to dictate to you how much time to spend in this business. That is something that you need to decide. If you want to make this business work for you, if you want to create that additional income stream, you need to decide what time you're going to sacrifice. Right? Because we're talking about your spare time. You're here listening to me in your spare time. You'd prefer to be somewhere else, but perhaps you don't have the luxury of being somewhere else. Perhaps you know you need to do something for yourself to take control of your future. Because your boss is not going to do it for you, right? Got to do it for yourself. Make this business work for you. To be successful, you have to sacrifice free time, family time. And that's the decision we're making at the end of the presentation. No startup capital. There's no registration fees. There's no joining fees. There's no tons of stock you have to buy to get involved in this business. It's a very low-risk endeavor. There's no qualifications or experience required. Why is that important? Because we work in financial services. It's very hard, very difficult to get involved in financial services because of all the regulation. Okay? We contract you out of that so you can get involved in this business without having to worry about FSB regulation. You get to build an asset. This is a very important point. This is a legal asset that you have ownership over. Because if I'm going to propose to you, give me your spare time, your family time, your leisure time, your time after work, your time on the weekends, at least build something that you have ownership over. So you have legal ownership over this channel of distribution. You can sell it. You can cede it to your beneficiaries if you happen to die. If you get too old to do the business, you can give it to your kids, right? You're building something that you own. The antithesis of that is employment, where we will spend 40, 45 years working for somebody else where we have no ownership over it. We will dedicate our lives to another business where we have no shareholding, no profit share in it. You get to own what you build here. Okay? There's no selling involved. I'm sure a lot of our guests arrive with a fear that they would be asked to sell something this evening. There's no selling involved. We actually contract you out of selling. Okay? The nature of our business being financial means that our products are intangible. Like I said, there's no stock that you have to buy to get started. So we make this business as simple and as convenient as possible to get involved in. Okay? Purely on the basis of you going out building these channels of distribution. So what does a channel of distribution look like? It starts with you in the center there. And you go out and all you have to do is tell people what DuePoint is all about. That's it. You only have to tell them about the DuePoint opportunity. The same way the person that introduced you and got you to come to this evening told you about DuePoint. Okay? And if you're successful in that, if we're able to place products with those people that come to see what DuePoint's all about, that is the beginning of your channel of distribution. And those people that you introduced go out and do the same thing, right? They also want to change their lives. Except that guy. He's either very rich or very lazy, right? There's always the one that doesn't want to do anything, okay? But this is how your channel can grow organically, right? This is organic growth. How much time did it take you to introduce those first 5 people? This is leverage, power duplication. This is you being the CEO of your channel of distribution. This is you leveraging your time. And next month, a few more people will join your business, right? But you might be thinking that this looks fairly simple to get involved in. We've made it very accessible to everybody. You might be excused for thinking, oh, I've been brought to one of those get-rich-quick schemes, right? There's lots of those floating around. This is not one of these. We are a registered insurance business. Only about 12 or 13 registered insurance companies in the entire country. Constantia is one of them. We've been around for since 1952, nearly 70 years. That's nearly twice my age. We would never align ourselves with a get-rich-quick scheme or any scheme of any sort. We pride ourselves on our credibility, on the people that work in this organization, right? We have a lot of pride in the business that we represent. And at the same token, to be successful in any business opportunity, it requires a lot of effort. A lot of effort. If you've ever tried to start your own business, you'll know that starting the business is fairly simple, right? You just decide one morning, you wake up, I'm starting a business. But to be successful in a business opportunity, it's a whole different story. 95% of new businesses fail in the first year. 95%. That's a lot of ideas and a lot of time and a lot of money that get flushed down the toilet, right? Fortunately, we've created a platform with very experienced individuals, people with over 50 years experience in financial services, in doing businesses like this. And that's who you're looking at partnering with, essentially. So I don't want you to have these grand visions of becoming rich quickly. There is no such thing. Even people who win the lotto, the money's gone after 24 months, right? You have to earn your success. It requires a little bit of learning. And if you can get through that frustration, if you can be persistent and consistent, you can see success in this business. Okay. How does it work? Well, the money, at least, this is how our returns work. The returns is what we pay our wealth engineers at the end of every month based on how many products are in their channel. So that's you there. We pay a base return fee of R27.50 for every product that we're able to place in your channel. Okay, so remember the first 5 individuals that you introduced and we placed a product with them? They lie on point 1 because they are, in relation to you, 1 point away from you. And on point 1, we pay you double the R27.50. So we pay you R55 for every single product, every single month. Remember, it's recurring income. It's not once off R55. It's not R55 that you only get at the end of April. You get that R55 for as long as those products are active. They're going to be active for 10, 20 years. Okay? Those individuals do the same thing. These products, these people, they lie on your second point. They are 2 points away from you. And again, we pay you R55 for every one of those products. Point 3, it drops to the R27. You see it's 100%. To point 4, all the way down to point 8, you see the multiplier starts to drop. Right? At point 8, we're paying you R1.10 now for every product, every month. But we don't limit you there. So from point 8 on to infinity, we will pay you R1.10 for every product in your channel every single month. We don't limit you on how big your channel can become with DuePoint. We don't limit you on how much money you can earn at DuePoint. Okay? So this is the mechanics of the returns. Fairly straightforward. The next natural question is, well, how much money can I earn after a certain amount of time? Give me an idea. I want an idea before I commit. I want to know how much money I can earn after 3 months or 6 months, or you talk long term, maybe how much can I earn after 5 years? So the accountants, they built this path to success. Okay? It's based on a growth formula that we call 3 plus 2. The 3 represents the first 3 people that you introduce to your business in the first month. And then we want to see you add another 2 people every month thereafter. Right? So in April, you're going to bring in 3 people. We're going to place a product with them. In May, another 2 people. June, another 2 people. It's 1 every 2 weeks. And you keep going like that. So we call it 3 plus 2. If you do that growth formula, you can expect to earn R2,500 after 6 months. Always look for the reaction when I throw that out there. Too much? Too little? You want to leave the presentation now? You want to stay? Right? It might be seen as very little. You go to Woolworths, you buy 1 packet, $300, right? So maybe you don't think R2,500 is that much. But I want to give you some context around this little R2,500, because the majority of us has got debt in our lives, right? Most of us, most South Africans have got debt in their lives. You take that R2,500 and you put it into your debt. Remember, our first goal for our wealth engineers, become debt-free faster. Put R2,500 into your debt. Here's an example of someone that's got a R1 million bond on a house. They've agreed to pay the bank back over a term of 20 years, right? They're probably paying the bank R11,000 a month on that R1 million bond, okay? They take R2,500 and they put it into the bond. They put the extra R2,500 into the bond. They will reduce the bond term on that house, on that bond, from 20 years down to 11 and a half years. You will pay your house off in nearly 10 years sooner than what you would have. So you wonder why South Africans only start saving for their retirement at the age of 50. That's when the average South African starts saving for retirement, at the age of 50. It's because you've only paid the bond off when you're 50, if you take out a 20-year term. It's the first time you get the kids out of school and hopefully through university, and they're no longer a burden to you. It's usually around the age of 50. And it's usually only 50-year-olds that have got money left over at the end of the month for the first time in their lives. So you can excuse them for only starting to invest properly in their 50s. Don't be that person, because you know it's too late. If retirement planning shows you that you probably need to start saving for 40 years, at least start saving 10 years sooner. 2,500 rand can do that for you on a R1,000,000 bond. That 2,500 rand will save you R1,000,000 rand in repayments. Does that connect with you? 2,500 rand will save you R1,000,000 rand. You were wondering, how on earth am I going to save R1,000,000 rand cash? It's 6 months away, right? It also lets you understand how much money you're actually paying the bank back on that bond. You're paying the bank back 2.5 times the value of that property asset, right? So you're going to end up paying, after 20 years, 2.5 million on this house. It's only worth $1 million. And people will say, oh, buy a house, it's a great investment. You keep going, 12 months, already 100,000 rand annually that you create for yourself after 12 months. You're getting paid nearly 10,000 rand a month after 12 months. Anyone get a 100,000 rand bonus this year from the employers? 24 months, 30,000 rand. Now we're talking big money, right? Can you believe it? Can you believe making 30,000 rand every month over and above your employment? No shakes of the head, no nods. Maybe you'll start believing it by the end of the presentation. After 36 months, you're nearly 50,000 rand a month. That's 36 months away, people. What were you doing 36 months ago? You're probably worrying exactly the same thing that you're worrying about today, right? Nothing changed. 36 months away. You want to look at the bond example? After 30 months, you're probably earning 35, 36,000 rand. Put that into a 5 million rand bond. You'll pay that bond off in less than 7 years. 5 million rand homeowner in 7 years. It's great, right? You keep doing that. Do it again. Do it again. Buy a second house. Buy a third house. How old are you? 40? 50? You can buy 2 houses if you're 50. You'll be 64 and have 10 million rands worth of property asset. If you're 40, you do it 3 times. 21 years. Then you'll have 15 million rand in property assets. 30 months away. After 48 months, close to about 70,000 rand monthly. And after 60 months, a short 5 years, you're on nearly 1 million rand annually. 1 million rand annually. Did I say that you need to have 2 degrees to get involved with the DuePoint system? No. Did I say you have to have a matric to get involved in the DuePoint system? Did I have to say that you have to have corporate experience to get involved in the DuePoint system? Anyone can get involved in the DuePoint system. Remember, it was based on 3 plus 2. 3 plus 2 was only an example. Only an example. You can do less than 3 plus 2. You can do 0 plus 0. I've got lots of wealth engineers doing 0 plus 0. They came to the presentation, they got excited, they did nothing. How much money do you think they're earning? But you can do more than 3 plus 2, right? You think you can bring more than 2 people to this business every month? There are 30 days in a month. Bring 30. Why only bring 2? I've got wealth engineers doing way more than 3 plus 2. Sean? 100% committed to this business. Didn't make excuses. When he started this business, there was an element of trust. There has to be an element of trust to join a business that you don't know very well yet, right? He joined the business. His car had just broken down. He had to catch public transport every single afternoon after work from Alberton and back to Alberton. Every night during the week, he gets home at 11 o'clock. It's the first time he gets to see his family again in the day. 11 o'clock at night. He joined in the middle of October. By January, he was earning nearly 2,500 rand. He was only supposed to get there in 6 months. In a single month, he doubled his income. When you get back to work on Tuesday, go meet with the boss and say you want a 100% increase. Say, DuePoint's offering it, why can't you? We laugh, right? This figure was pulled in the middle of March. The middle of March. More. Okay? Virginia from KZN, she did even more. 3,300 Rand after 3 months. Doubled her income too. In a single month, she doubled her income. Did she have to do double the work? Do you think she did double the work in February than she did in January? No. She did the same amount of work. But then how can she earn double the amount of money? Because she's leveraging through the channels of distribution. She's leveraging her time. She's just putting in the same amount of work every month, and her income has gone up. This is the beauty of this business. Okay? Rulof, very experienced networker, probably been in network marketing for 25 years. He's seen it all. He's done it all. He joined us right at the beginning in February. By April, 4,000 Rand. By October, he doubled his income. If you speak to him, go watch his testimonies. All these wealth engineers, their testimonies are on YouTube. You can go see the interviews. They'll tell you their story. They're not prepped. We say, give them a microphone. We say, tell everyone your story. And they tell the story. And he'll say, I wasn't really interested in the first 6 months. His income went up anyway. Sounds unfair to a degree. He started getting engaged at the end of the year. Okay? March now, 20,000 Rand monthly. You were only supposed to be on 9,000, remember, after 12 months. Double that. You can do more than 3 plus 2, is my point. You need to decide for yourself how much you're going to commit to this business. These individuals are not special. They aren't special. You can go ask them about their backgrounds. Do you have degrees? Do you have experience in human psychology, human behavior? They don't. They're just putting in effort into this business to make it work. The platform is the same for every single person in the room. Okay? So there are no excuses, is what I'm saying. We've got hundreds of wealth engineers that we pay every single month. In the last 30 days, we have paid out 50% more than we did last month. That's 50% growth in a single month in this business. Got to make it happen for yourself. So that's the returns. That's what we pay our wealth engineers at the end of every month. Over and above that, we've got a rewards program. Okay? So the rewards program is over and above the return that you earn every single month. So how this works is when you become a wealth engineer, you will start to engage in wealth engineer behavior and activities, like coming to an intro presentation, logging into your website, bringing guests. And when you do all these things, we give you something called XP. Okay? And when you start to collect all this XP, it's got no monetary value. When you start to collect this XP, it tells us how active you are as a wealth engineer, right? You collect all the XP and your business starts to grow. You start to have success in your channel of distribution. And when those two things start growing, you start to rank up in the XP rewards program. So if you join us this evening, you will start as a rank 0 wealth engineer. Because you've done 0 plus 0, you're earning 0, you rank 0. But very quickly, you can get to rank 1. You see what it says? Rank 1, XP required 1,000. You can do that in less than a day. You need 4 products in your channel of distribution. And when you do those two things, you become rank 1. And you'll be earning 220 Rand as a return at the end of the month. But on top of that, in the XP rewards program, we will give you a reward of 55 Rand. Small, right? You can go buy a cappuccino and celebrate on your own. But they get bigger because the more success you have in this XP rewards program, the more success you have as a wealth engineer, these rewards get bigger. 100 Rand, 400 Rand, 1,500 Rand, 20,000 Rand, 50,000 Rand. We give tools that make you more effective as a wealth engineer. So here's Patrick and Pumi with their lightning memory stick. Plugs into any device. Tablets, phones, computers, laptops. Doesn't matter if it's Android or Apple. It plugs into everything. But more importantly, on that little device, we put all our videos. We've got all our interviews, our testimonies, our presentations, our training. So that Patrick and Pumi can show people, regardless of where they are, regardless of the time of the day, they can show people what DuePoint is all about. Here's Donnie at rank 7 with his premium business cards. These are business cards that we get manufactured for our wealth engineers when they get to rank 7. They cost us 12,500 Rand per set. You get 1,000 cards. There's no printing done on this card. That DuePoint and the edges are gilded in gold. The business card is 4 times thicker than any other card. The paper's got a suede feel to it. You'll see them on display in the merchandise cabinet. Why do we do that? People haven't heard of DuePoint. If you go up to someone and you say, I've got this great business opportunity called DuePoint, they're going to be like, that's nice. But when you give them a business card that looks 20 times more valuable than the business card they've got, they will take a little more notice about what you've got to tell them. Okay? So we give away these tools to make you more effective. At rank 9, we take your family, I wouldn't say entire family, I know some people have got huge families. We take your family on a 7-day international conference, all expenses paid trip, business class flights internationally every single year. This is not a once-off reward. When you get to rank 9, we take you on this international conference every single year. You don't have to have a family meeting to see how much money is in your bank account. You don't have to worry about the exchange rate. You just have to make sure that you can take those 7 days of leave from work. Tell your HR manager where you're going, that you're flying business class with the whole family again, and then again, and again. You give him the 12,500 Rand business card. When he's sitting here next to you, you say to him, this is what financial freedom is all about. Because your employer is not going to do it for you. He's not going to do it for you. He's worried about himself, his family, his position, and his business. Not about you, unfortunately. He might like you. He's got nothing against you. But he couldn't care about your future. He's worrying about himself. Do it for yourself, guys. Only person that's going to do it is yourself. Take a look at where we're going at the end of this year. Everyone in this room has got the ability to get to rank 9.
All of your wind has gone, and all of the paths you've drawn have sunk to the ocean sun where no one can see. You stand, don't let the dark embrace, cower the dreams you chase under the rust and blood. Don't let yourself give up.
Easy to get excited about rank 9, right? Looks good. That's outside the actual resort that we're going to. Anyone gone scuba diving before? Or wakeboarding? You're going to learn when you get to rank 9, right? I'm going to make it a point to teach everyone to scuba dive and wakeboard and windsurf and all these crazy things. Okay. It's available to everybody. Everyone in the room. You've got equal opportunity to get to rank 9. Got to get to rank 1 first. Do you remember rank 1 or you've forgotten about rank 1 already? 1,000 XP, 4 products. That's where it begins. That's where it begins, guys. It's easy to join this business. Nothing stops you from joining this business. It takes 7 minutes to join the business. It takes a little bit longer to get to rank 1. And that's when the magic happens. That's when you start to be successful. It's if you can get to rank 1, okay? Because that's where it begins. And if you can figure out how to get to rank 1, I promise you, you can get to the next rank. You just take it a step at a time in this business. At rank 11, we give you a brand new car. He can help. Rank 11. You saw the table. It went down to rank 20. We've already planned the XP Rewards program up to rank 28. This is only at 11. We've got wealth engineers that have gotten to rank 9 in 7 months. 7 months to rank 9. Not special individuals. I'm going to remind you, they're not special individuals. It's about time. You saw at the end of the video? Told you financial freedom comes at a cost. At what cost? Your family time. The time you watch Generations. The time you go to bed early. The time that you have, the leisure time you have on weekends. That's what you have to sacrifice, right? We've got another benefit for our wealth engineers. This is something that we run every single month. So we've got a wealth quest that we run every month. And this wealth quest changes every month. This month, the wealth quest is called the Triple Lightning Qualifier. And we challenge our wealth engineers this month to find 3 new wealth engineers in the month of April and to qualify them, which means they need to find 3 new wealth engineers, right? So in total, you're going to have 12 new wealth engineers in your channel before the end of April, paid up. And if you do that, we'll give you a brand new iPad. How's that for a challenge, right? We gave 8 wealth engineers brand new iPhone 5Ss just a few weeks ago. You want an iPad? You go for it. 12 people. That hard? 98% of the population struggling. Shouldn't be too difficult. Another question we get is, it sounds like you're spending too much money on our wealth engineers. Right? This is a slide that explains our business model so that you can be assured that we actually have the maths right and that we're not just spending money on wealth engineers and we're going to get it all wrong and liquidate tomorrow. Okay. So on the left there, you see a traditional business model. Traditional businesses, especially insurance companies, engage in a lot of marketing and advertising, right? For them to have growth, they have to market and advertise every single month, and they spend a fortune on client acquisition. You will not see a DuePoint logo outside of this building because we don't do a stitch of marketing or advertising. Okay? We even contract our wealth engineers out of doing any marketing or advertising on DuePoint's behalf too, because we only expect our wealth engineers to tell people about the DuePoint business opportunity through the word of mouth. Okay? Through reference. So instead of spending the billions that the insurance industry spends on marketing and advertising, that portion of our premium that used to go to, because Constantia still engages in traditional forms of advertising, that portion of the premium, instead of us spending on marketing and advertising it, we give it to our wealth engineers in the form of returns and rewards. This is true partnership, guys. It's almost like a royalty. You speak to anyone about business opportunity, if you can get a royalty, that's the best deal you can get. Okay? So this explains the business model. What are the products? We've got 3 products that all have very different financial benefits to our wealth engineers. So you are free to take 1 product, 2 products, or all 3 products. They are very straightforward products. Okay? We keep them straightforward on purpose. The first product is called Access Wealth. It is an investment product. Okay? For 299 Rand a month, we register a tax-free investment account in your name, and we'll put 100 Rand into that investment every month for you. Okay, it's not a notice deposit, it's not a fixed deposit. You can draw those funds out at any stage. At any stage. It takes 72 hours to process. and you've got the money. Okay. On top of that, we'll give you a little bit of insurance with your investment. We'll give you 110,000 rands worth of personal accident cover. So if you have this investment and you get killed in a car accident or shot or whatever the case is, you die through an accident, we will pay your beneficiaries out 110,000 rand plus whatever's in the investment. Okay, so this is the investment product, Access Wealth. The second product is purely an insurance product. It is called Wealth Guard. It is 274 per month, and this is only insurance. But this time you're getting 1.1 million rands worth of personal accident cover for only 274 every month. The beauty of this product is it's accessible to anyone over the age of 18. So it doesn't matter what your age is. You can be 90 years old. You can still take out this product and enjoy the benefit of 1.1 million rand for only 274 every month. So this is the insurance product. The third product is called Wealth Points. This is our buyer's club. What this product allows you to do is it allows you to save money every month on the money that we are spending anyway, right? So we're spending money on all sorts of things, restaurants, groceries, travel, whatever it is. This product tries to save you money on that spend. So we've gone to those list of partners that you see there, and we've negotiated discounts with them that we share with our Wealth Points Buyers Club members. So you can see a very popular one is ShopRite Checkers, because we are spending a massive amount of our salaries on groceries, right? So if you become part of this Wealth Points Buyers Club, you can get 2.5% off of your full trolley at ShopRite Checkers every time you go shop there. Okay, then we've got the Entertainer. The Entertainer's got 1.2 million rands worth of buy one, get one free vouchers. We've got Eagle Ford. Ford have already sold 2 Fords to our wealth engineers in the last month, right? I wasn't expecting that. Clearly our wealth engineers have got too much money buying cars so quickly already. We've got Yuppie Chef, Hirsch's, Take-A-Lot, so a lot of retailers, and then we've got a couple of niche. Vodri is ladies' hair products. We've got professional training, which is a personal trainer, half price off of that. Love Hair, 10% off of that. We are adding to this list all the time. The list of partners grows all the time. We're always engaging with new businesses to see if they fit in with this program. If you want immediate benefit out of any of the products that we have, this is the one that will offer you immediate benefit. Okay, so those are the 3 products. They're fairly straightforward. Come ask me questions if you have any questions around the products. I remind you of the support that you get as a wealth engineer. You get a lot of support as a wealth engineer. We don't want to see you join and then we don't see you again. Press into the support, right? We want to see you successful in this, because we can only be successful as a business if you guys are successful. So everything we do here is for our wealth engineers. You can do your own presentations here. You can use our boardrooms to have your own meetings, our breakout rooms. You can drink all the free tea and coffee that you want. You can use our free Wi-Fi for anything. We live stream all the events that we do around the country every single day. Do not be limited by head office. Go and grow your channels of distribution outside of Gauteng, right? We have got healthy businesses in all the different towns and cities and provinces in South Africa. Go engage in that. Alrighty, decision time. What's the decision we're making this evening? To join or not to join? Or more importantly, is it going to be, what am I going to sacrifice to make this business successful for me? I know my employer is not going to be dependable. You can't depend on your employer. When we see people getting retrenched, we see everyone getting retrenched. From people earning 2,000 rand a month to people earning 200,000 rand a month. No one is safe from retrenchment. Okay? We're all in the same boat with regards to the economy, unfortunately. For the first time, we need to start doing something for ourselves to ensure our financial future. You don't want to be one of those people that get to retirement financially dependent, right? Because what do you do when you're in that space? You have to downgrade your lifestyle to such a degree that you can actually afford to survive. You've got to now become reliant on your kids or family for money, right? So now you're putting stress on them. We don't want to see our wealth engineers get into that position. Pay your debt off as quickly as possible. It is crippling debt. Debt is not making you any money. It is making the financial service providers money. Okay? A lot of money. You see the extraordinary rates on hire purchase in this country. It's crazy. When my wife had just come out of varsity, she went and bought a car with a 22% interest rate. I only found out once we got married. I nearly fell on the floor. Right? West Bank made so much money out of us, it was nuts. Guys, don't fall into that trap. We're already in the trap of debt. I want to see you get out of that trap very quickly. It will be liberating to you. You get to rank 9. You get to enjoy an international conference every single year. Do you know how liberating that will be for your kids? To see what life has to offer beyond just seeing their parents stressing about money all the time. When you take them overseas on business class flights, the world will be open to your children. They will think completely differently to the way you and I were brought up. And this is true empowerment. True empowerment, because it's equal opportunity for everyone. Right? But the ball falls in your court. You have to do it. I promise you. I'm not going to force anyone to spend time in this business. If you join the business and I don't see you again, I don't even remember tomorrow. These people here, I won't remember you tomorrow, our guests, unless you join and you engage in the business. Then I develop relationships with the wealth engineers, right? Brendan and myself will even give you our time. If you've built up a channel with a couple of builders and people in your channel of distribution, you can set up time with Brendan and myself. We will sit with you for an hour and strategize your success in this business. We'll give you that. We want to see you successful. That's the decision. And we are coming into a period of this month where we have got a lot of public holidays. What do public holidays mean for people in employment? Time to relax. What does it mean for people engaged in their own business? Work. Public holidays mean work in this business. Are you willing to give that up? We've got more public holidays at the end of the month, I think the 27th of April, then the 1st of May. I will be doing 2 presentations a day in this auditorium on those 2 public holidays. I want to see this room full because we're all in the same boat. So you get to enjoy this Friday and Monday, but the next 2 public holidays I want to see you here. Okay? Is everyone nodding in agreement? I'll hold you to it, eh? Like I said, joining is very easy. Jump onto our website. If you've got a tablet or a smartphone, you can jump onto our website. We've got iPads in the breakout rooms for you. Click on the big blue apply button. You can become a wealth engineer, like I said. In about 7 minutes, you go through that application form. You can start calling the people on the way home tonight to build this business, right? You can start building something that you own, something that's true value in an investment within 7 minutes. That's just amazing. Merchandise is not a profit center for us. The merchandise here is to support you in your endeavors as a wealth engineer. Okay? You cannot go to someone, for example, and say, I've got a lovely business opportunity. I'm so passionate about this business opportunity. And they say, okay, give me a business card. Oh, no, I don't have a business card. We've got business cards, guys. Order the business cards when you become a wealth engineer. USB stick, very helpful. If you don't want to use data, buy a USB stick. We've got all our videos on the USB stick. So you can give it to someone, you can plug it into a smart TV or a laptop or whatever and show them the intro presentation. Okay? If they don't want to come to the office. Don't ask me for a charger when you come to my office. I don't have a charger for you. Buy a power bank. Okay? The pin on the far left. That pin, if you see anyone wearing that pin, it represents people that are earning money at DuePoint. People that are making it work. So get the pin. Get the pin. Cheap. And then we've got a couple of other nice things. The notebook, folder for tablets, the pen. Guys, get involved. Commit yourself to the business. Don't be half a foot in. Take the step in. We don't tie you into this business. There's no 12-month contract or 24-month contract. If you decide it's not working for you, you can leave. We don't tie you in. If you don't want to be part of the business, you can go. Phone client service, cancel, off you go. But we want to see you successful. You want to see you successful. Okay? I remind you, we've got a YouTube channel. Every single thing we've done is on this YouTube channel. All our videos for the last year are on the YouTube channel. The testimonies, the interviews with the successful wealth engineers, with Dr. Benfield, all the experienced people. They will tell you, they'll give you advice. The training's on there. All the intro presentations, all the live streams are on there. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. It'll pop up with a little notification telling you every time we're about to pop up a video or to live stream. We've got a mobile app that works on Android as well as Apple devices. Download the mobile app. You can run your business from the palm of your hand. Right? Convenience. Get plugged in. Guys, I thank you for your time. I'm done. If you've got questions, I'll be here for the next 30, 45 minutes to answer any questions. Good luck. Have a lovely Easter weekend. Thank you.